point of his career, he has a game that is not dependent.
A sight many have seen heading to the airport here in Los Angeles. And thanks for joining us on this Christmas Eve. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. In the last meeting for these two teams, the Lakers were handed a loss when they went up against the Warriors.
And in that game, guys, their three-point shooting really was their own worst enemy. Even when they got the open looks, they just had an inability to knock them down.
And, guys, you've seen it happen to every team. You have to be a threat from beyond the arc nowadays, and if your team goes cold, it really can sabotage your game.
Now Golden State's starting five. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots. Green at the 4 with Bogut at the 5. And it's Rush in at the 3 slot.
And the one thing you can typically count on from Roy Hibbert is great rim protection. Last year, he dipped a little, down to 1.5 blocks a game from over 2 the year before. But shooters still had to account for him every time they drove to the rim.
And it's Thompson that time on the assist by Rush. Thompson's got the opening basket of the game for the Warriors. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, Steve Kerr gave me a few moments to catch up with him. He'll be up against one of the true giants of the league in Roy Hibbert. And he talked about how impressed he is with Hibbert's dedication to improving his game, saying he's gotten better year after year. And now is one of the guys you have to account for really at both ends of the floor. Defensively, you've got to get low and try to root him out of the paint. And then on offense, we'll probably look to put him in pick and rolls to test his mobility. Seems like a smart strategy, guys. We'll see how they do.
Thanks, Doris. And now, just over a minute played here in the first. And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason. I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Thompson. That one's good from the corner. Thompson's got his second bucket of the night. Well, getting back to Hibbert, last year was a down one for him in a few areas. He put up his lowest points per game average since his rookie year. And Clark, his minutes in general were way down.
Yeah, and I think he may be at a bit of a crossroads in his career right now. A couple years ago, signed a big contract. He's got the talent, and he's got the desire. I think it's just a matter of him having the confidence that will lead to consistency. He's got so much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
And here is Los Angeles now. It's a three-point game. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
And if there's one aspect of the game that really stood out for me, it was the rebounding. Basketball is about possessions, and you saw a noticeable difference in terms of the effort both teams were putting forward.
Simply got outworked under the boards, guys. I mean, that's the no-brainer of the deal. I mean, they got pushed around all game long.
And remember Klay Thompson's father, Michael Thompson, a former #1 pick out of Minnesota. Growing up, he was the smallest of his brothers and thereby took his lumps when they played hoops. But he said that challenge helped him to develop into the player he is today.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Young's checked in. And so Thompson nails both of them. And Klay Thompson, born into an athletic family. His father, the former #1 overall pick in the NBA draft. And Clark, his mom, was a Division I volleyball player.
And, you know, Thompson, despite those genes, was not a highly recruited player out of high school. Grew up in UCLA's backyard, but ended up playing college ball at Washington State.
And so it's Golden State with it, following the bucket by the Lakers. And the Warriors miss again. Lakers have gone just 2 of 8 shooting so far, just 25%. Stolen by Thompson. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. That's tipped, but they'll get another chance. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played. Curry against Nance. Bogut trying to get open. Tries again. And he sinks the layup. Bogut's got his first points of the night.
Now that's how you pick up second chance points. Stay active and be ready as soon as the shot goes up.
That'll be a 5-second call. And let's take this chance to look at some of the perimeter players who aren't afraid to mix it up in the middle either. These are the top rebounding point guards in the league. Third is Stephen Curry.
And this is a unique group of players. It's not often we talk about the rebound leaders at the point, but with these guys, it's warranted because of just how well they do it.
And, Greg, I think it gives them an edge over most of their counterparts at the point guard spot. I mean, desire, attitude, and they really look to mix it up. They're not afraid to do anything to help their team's cause. Boy, I tell you, the Warriors did something that no other team had ever done before. They ended the regular season ranked first in field goal percentage and field goal percentage defense. Essentially, they were the best offensive and defensive team in the league. Remarkable.
Sacre is checked in for Los Angeles. Russell comes in for Lou Williams. And that one's good.
Excellent feed from Steph Curry.
Lakers trail by 7. Clarkson picked him clean. Russell against Thompson. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
Catching up on the changes for Golden State. Spates checked in for Draymond Green. Barbosa comes in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. And for Andre Iguodala, last year was a first in 758 games. Up until then, he had not once ever come off the bench.
Yeah, he had been a starter throughout his 10-year career, every single game, Kevin. And last year he came off the bench in every game. Big adjustment for the veteran, but he made it well.
That one is off.
And getting back to Iguodala last season, not only did he come off the bench for the first time ever, but he really thrived in doing so. Playing the fewest minutes per game of his career, he was able to avoid some of the nagging injuries that had plagued him in the past. And so he could stick around to help the Warriors assemble that franchise record of 67 wins last season.
And the second free throw, good.
For Iguodala at this point in his career, it's just about winning. He's had a couple of large contracts. He's made multiple All-Star teams, but now it's about rings for him. And he got one.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence. Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass. And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Greg, it's hard to imagine they'll stay this hot for 4 quarters, but if they even approximate that, watch out.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
And how about Sean Livingston? Just a terrific comeback story. Of course, he suffered that famous knee injury, one of the worst I've ever seen, and he has willed himself back to become a valuable player in this league.
Lakers trail by 10. Here's Huertas. They get the rebound. The kick out to Young. Inside. Here's Sacre. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Here we can see, Kevin, where the Warriors rank in the NBA right now. First in scoring. First in assists. And they're also #1 in shooting percentage. This is a team that prides itself on taking high-quality shots.
And you go back to their offense, the most explosive in the league. I mean, everyone talks about the great offense beating great defenses. And I tell you what, they make it difficult to hang with them.
Sacre hits them both. Signed a nice 3-year deal with the Warriors, helped their bench. Great fit for that team.
No question. A rare package at 6'7", who's a true point guard and extremely versatile defensively. He can play alongside Steph Curry, handling the ball or off it. And easy to see why the Dubs were happy to get him.
Now, here is Russell. After the miss from Andre Iguodala. Here's Randall. Good on the baseline, Jay.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolutely absolute perfection.
Warriors leading by 6. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
The Warriors shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. The first free throw is good. When you think about Shaun Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken Clark 4th back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager, and his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
And getting back to Livingston, he's had comeback after comeback. I mean, each time he'd start to flash those unbelievable movement skills, he'd get injured again. It's a shame because he was on the path to becoming one of the game's great young point guards.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
And for Livingston, last season with the Warriors was a dream. He got to back up Steph, so he got to play against second stringers, and we got to see flashes of his dominant traits again. What a happy ending for him.
Here's Barbosa, and the layup is good. Barbosa's got his first bucket of the night.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
And it's sent back by Spates. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel.
They need to start taking care of the basketball. Careless play since the opening tip.
Have to make the simple play. I mean, already they've got 4 turnovers, and it's still early.
44 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And that's an intentional foul.
Oh, no. Not the guy you want to put on the line, Kevin. He's an ATM from the free throw line.
On occasions last year, the Lakers were all right on offense. Other times, they were just stagnant. There was just no motion, nothing going on.
That's a great point. And their ball movement could use some work. A lot of ISOs last season, and it killed a lot of the flow the team had in the half court.
Free throw good, Livingston. Livingston hits both of them.
And trailing here in the early going, too many careless fouls, and they're giving up a lot of trips to the line.
Yeah, not only the trips to the line are a concern, but the foul trouble also. You've got to play defense with your feet and do so without fouling. You know, for the Lakers, they were okay in the assist department, guys, but they were dead last in the league in secondary assists. That, to me, is indicative of an inefficient offense and also a new stat category. And already we've got a very lopsided edge on the boards for them.
Yeah, +5. As you mentioned, that didn't take very long, did it?
Here's Young. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Here's Spates. Soft touch off the glass.
You could not diagram a better way to open a quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the lead they've jumped out to already. What a start.
And after just 1 quarter of play, a double-digit differential on the scoreboard. And speaking with Roy Hibbert before the game, he helped illuminate their defensive philosophy.
You want to guard the paint, and some of that has to do with myself being able to.
When you have that sort of focus like Hibbert, that kind of confidence on display on a nightly basis, Greg, you are a game changer, and he does change games every night.
You know, and we saw his skill set and execution develop very rapidly over the course of just a couple years. He worked extremely hard to become the force he is on the interior in this game.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Warriors.
They've made the commitment to get out and run, and it's paid off with some highlight reel plays in transition.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
And Golden State looking at who they've got. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson at the guard spots, and it's Iguodala in at the small forward position.
And Andre Iguodala, guys, one of the most unselfish players in the league. I mean, that unselfishness for me, too, is what was put to a test last season as the former All-Star was asked by his coach, Steve Kerr, to come off the bench for the Warriors. And you know what? He did it without complaint, putting the team first.
No tip required when you've got room to make the stuff.
Yeah, some powerful second chance points right there.
Yeah, and guys, not wasting any time, just straight back up with it.
Thompson misses.
I tell you what, the defense should send Christmas cards for that miss.
And for Iguodala, some have said he's unselfish card to a fault.
Yeah, and you know, a great athlete and ball handler, I think he can be much more aggressive looking to attack off the dribble. He's really unique, though, a player who puts his emphasis on the defensive end and does a really good job at that end of the floor.
Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. Bryant, that's for two, but they recover it. And around a minute gone here in the second quarter. Curry dishes to Thompson. From about 16, Curry can't get it to go.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
And there's Kobe. That's good on the assist by Nance.
And I'll bet his percentage is pretty high from that range.
Warriors leading by 14. No one near Curry as he lets it go. Another miss by Curry.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
Here's Clarkson. Green with the block. Here's Thompson. His last outing with 20 points. Kicks it to Green. He feeds it to Rush. An easy layup after coming off the pick. And the Warriors lead by 16.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Yeah, and they're really getting pummeled on points in the paint here.
And the Lakers call time here.
You know, the Warriors took some flack when they passed on the chance to trade for Kevin Love. But I really think that the rise of Draymond Green as their stretch four-man made the decision even better and also kept their cap situation far more flexible.
LA's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Here's Hibbert, and that's going to be a travel. And this, now a list of guys who can shoot it as well as they can pass it. The point guards with the highest shooting percentage in the NBA. Second, Stephen Curry.
As a point guard, you want to create the best possible shot every trip down the floor. And given the way these guys have shot the ball, you know, it's not a bad idea every now and then for them to go it alone.
Well, you know they're not going to do that, though. I mean, even as deadly as they are from the field, they're always looking to set up their teammates first.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You take a look at the Warriors. And not a surprise, really, to see them sitting there in that #1 spot in the conference. The excellent brand of basketball they've been putting on display lately has been terrific. And, of course, the Lakers. Not really any threat right now as their record showing a lot more losses.
And seeing where the Warriors are, they look like a team on a mission. We knew coming into this season that they were going to be one of the teams to beat. They've done nothing to change anyone's mind about that.
That's for sure. I mean, expectations were high for these guys, and they've more than lived up to the hype.
Inside, poked loose, stolen by Thompson. Outside, Curry. And it's Golden State with another.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
And now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball to halt the run. And the shot falls short this time. For so long, there has been this mindset that Golden State wins through offense, but their defense You know, Gia, you were talking about this, is where the true strength of this team lies.
I think that's what's really allowed them to separate when you look at the rest of the league. I mean, they led the league in opponents' field goal percentage last season, and some nights the shots weren't falling, but the defense always showed up.
And Los Angeles with some changes. Julius Randle's checked in for Hibbert. Young comes in for Kobe. And it's Russell in for Lou Williams. The Warriors also with a sub. Azili's checked in for Andrew Bogut.
And you know, with the Warriors, it goes beyond the stats. High character guys, tremendous culture. They had a lot of guys that could guard multiple positions and defend them well. That was a big reason they became champs.
Lakers trail by 20. The three, and the rejection by Azili. It's Curry with the drive. That is good. Curry's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today? And you just look at this Warriors roster, and there are a ton of defensive playmakers. That ability to switch everything and be fine is what made them so tough on the defensive side of the ball.
They get it back. Azili somehow ignores the tight D and gets the way up. Azili's got his first 2 points of the night. LA's got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4.
You love the closeout on that possession.
Excellent defense. Active, and he made it a very tough shot for him.
That drops.
And we've seen this offense step back into three-point land a little bit more in this quarter.
For better or worse, and it looks like the latter. I mean, those threes not really falling yet.
1:30 left here in the second. Outside Curry. There's the pass to Thompson. Green kicks to Rush. Green, the screen. Shoots from the elbow. No good off the front iron.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
That's good. Russell's got his first bucket in this one.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half. You're not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
And the Warriors making a change here. Spates checked in for Draymond Green. Iguodala comes in for Brandon Rush. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. That'll be a 5-second call.
And a moment now to see some numbers for Andre Iguodala. How his last 10 games have gone. He's putting up about 5 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
And all indications are that he's been working hard on his game. It just hasn't shown up in the box score yet.
Here's Spates. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. And here's the fast break. Russell leading the way. They get it back. Tries again. Huertas. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the official.
The Lakers have made 3 free throws so far. Haven't missed any.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
And he makes both free throws.
Well, somehow the Lakers managed to avoid ending up in last place in the West last season. Still, it's a far, far cry from the Lakers teams of the past. Only 21 wins for them on the season.
Buried from 15 feet out.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Warriors leading by 21. Here is Livingston. 6 points for him. Here's the screen. Here's Spates. And the Warriors miss again.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Warriors ahead, running away with it. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Andre, what has been the underlying principle of how you and the team have taken the...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game. So it's Golden State who's out on top at the half. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what do you think?
I love the way they're getting after it in the paint. Moving bodies, attacking the rim, scoring at will. Sometimes teams try to hurt you with the three ball. They went right for the heart of the defense. Look at them to keep pounding it inside and staying physical.
Shaq, your take on the Lakers.
Sloppy ball, way too many wasted possessions, chucking up threes, missing them. I could hit more threes than that, Ernie. I hope they're talking right now about getting the ball inside, because that's what it's going to take. If they were hitting more threes, it'd be a different story. But if was a fifth, Ernie, you know the rest.
And that'll do it for now, as the second half of our game is about to get underway.
We're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. Klay Thompson with a strong contribution so far in this one.
He was just like a jitterbug out there. I mean, disrupting passes, getting his hands on a lot of balls, forcing turnovers and steals. Just a solid job all the way around.
Like to watch him play like that. Makes the game so much more interesting.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like Greg Anthony in the day. A jitterbug or maybe a gnat with the kind of nuisance he's been as far as defending. Excellent work at that end of the floor for him.
And Kevin Clark's the only guy I know that can call you a gnat and mean it as a compliment.
And make you feel good about it. Yeah,
I appreciate that, Clark.
It's good, Clark. Larry Nance out there with Roy Hibbert. Then there's Lewis Williams. Then there's Bryant. And it's Clarkson in at the one spot. That's Byron Scott's 5 as we get into the second half. Wasted no time on that one. Nance has got 7 points in the game.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
Well, you know, last season, Steve Kerr came into a good situation, but a touch awkward. The team wasn't 100% on board with the firing of the previous coach, but he won them over in a hurry.
Thompson from long range. Tips it up, controls the rebound, and puts it back up and in. 9 points for Draymond Green.
And a nice soft touch on the boards.
And, you know, when you have that gentle a touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by.
Yeah, but how about the fight there prior to that ball being available? That's what I like and what you need to really focus on when they have plays like that.
And the Lakers have possession. Greg, Steve Kerr did win over the locker room in a hurry last season. They had finished a successful run under Mark Jackson. Winning accelerates everything. They certainly bought into it.
They really did. And people don't often appreciate how difficult it is to come into a situation where expectations are that high. But he also went out of his way to empower his players and really give them some accountability. Didn't try to hide anyone on defense and played to the strengths of his team on the offensive end.
And who has been a greater enigma than Roy Hibbert, a guy who can look like an all-star Clark one game and an undrafted free agent the next?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing the kind of swings Roy has had. He's been really good at times. Sometimes he gets in his own way with overthinking things, but I think he's got everything he needs to be an upper-tier center, upper echelon center. Just has lacked consistency the last year or two.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
And on the topic of Hibbert, he was an enigma in college, had a very encouraging junior season, looked like a future lottery pick, and then that uninspiring senior season, which kind of dropped his draft stock considerably.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. Steve Kerr was just going over the plan with his team. He told the team he wanted their offense to run through Green. Coach emphasized getting him as many touches as possible, saying he is going to be one of the guys to carry us the rest of the way. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris.
You know, going back to Hibbert, last season was a perfect example of what we're talking about in terms of consistency. One game he puts up 22 and 8, the next game 2 and 1. But you know, every team in the league would like to be in the Roy Hibbert game once the light finally goes on and stays on. Consistency, the challenge for Hibbert.
Outside Curry. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
They've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots.
Steph Curry does so many things well, Clark, on the floor, but one area he had struggled with was turning the ball over.
Yeah, and after a slow start, Kevin, to the year in the turnover department, Curry was able to slowly right the ship. It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Rush the pass to Curry. And the wide open shot from Green. No good with the triple.
The clear look at the hoop. He doesn't miss many of those.
Will it go? And that one good from Clarkson. Clarkson's got 8 points.
Really good job of creating just enough space to let that one fly.
Curry kicks to Bogut.
And that kind of defense ain't gonna get it done.
Gee, we don't see those kinds of dunks out of him all the time, but we know he's got it in him.
There's no doubt about that, fellas. I mean, the more finishes like that he gets, the more his confidence will grow.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. And a nice shot by Bryant.
Guys, you know, you're not going to hit that shot too often. That's high risk.
There's Curry. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Andrew Bogut. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, he was boxed out and tried to get the rebound the only way he could.
Yeah, he got straight over the back and on top of him there, too. So nothing subtle about that one.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Rando comes in for Larry Nance. And it's Russell in for Jordan Clarkson. Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for Golden State. Golden State's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Curry with the 3, and he gets it to go. Curry's got 12 in the game.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They got to get more intense.
And the foul goes on Roy Hibbert. That's his first foul. So both teams making some changes here. Golden State's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. Barbosa with it. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Iguodala wide open. Finds himself wide open and drills it.
And no doubt the Lakers had some defensive issues last season. I mean, no true center on that roster. And at times they were just feasted upon on the inside.
Livingston, that's good. Livingston's got 8 points.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Iguodala with it. He's picked up by Russell. And yes, sir, that one drops. Barbosa's got his 3rd basket of the night. Lakers did have problems defending inside, Greg. You're right, both on Bryant, Clark, and on post-ups.
Yeah, you know, they were second to last in the league in field goal percentage at their own rim. And rim protection is more than just blocking shots. So they got a lot of blocks as a team, but anything they didn't block went in.
We've got 1:08 left in the 3rd quarter. Iguodala. That's tipped. Russell dishes to Randall. And it's Iguodala with the rebound. Golden State's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. Here's Spates. And it's Russell with the rebound. For Los Angeles, they've gone 6 of 14 since halftime. A little cold from the field. He goes up again and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. They get Andre Iguodala. And as usual, he's the one directing traffic out there, guys.
And guys, he always has such a firm grasp of exactly what the game plan is. He's always talking, making sure that all 5 guys are on the same page.
Los Angeles shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. Free throw good, Russell. And so Russell hits them both. 34 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Barbosa with it. Russell's there. Good. Barbosa's got 5 points now this quarter.
Their prowess inside has been tremendous, guys. I mean, it's been no contest down on the low block.
And until the defense puts up a little more resistance, they ought to continue to pound them down low.
Here is Livingston. He's got 8. Pass to Speights. From about 16, Speights missing again. The foul called on Festus Ezeli.
That's his second personal foul.
The Lakers have made the most out of their opportunities at the line. They have yet to miss in 7 attempts.
2 shots.
The first one falls. And so he hits both. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. The Warriors on top, just dominating this one. Live from the Staples Center, you're watching 2K Sports. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. The Warriors shooting at 52% from the field. They're clicking. And Golden State looking at who they've got. Livingston is out there with Barbosa. Then it's Rush. Then there's Maurice Speights. And it's McAdoo in at the power forward.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Greg, they keep pulling up and watching them go down. It's a really nice thing to see.
And here are the Warriors now. Inside. It's hauled in by World Peace.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for him.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Livingston passes to McAdoo. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Livingston.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
Barbosa kicks to Rush. Back to Barbosa. And there's the foul against the Lakers.
And one record that is going to be very hard for any player to ever match is the Iron Man streak. That record's held by AC Green as he played in 1,192 consecutive games. That kind of durability is going to be hard to match in the modern NBA.
Andrew Bogut checked in for Golden State. Here's Barbosa. They get it back. Nice D from Williams.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Boy, perfect half at the free throw line for him. That'll help their comeback effort for real.
And Clark, those free throws need to continue if they're going to get back in this game.
And with Iron Man streaks, it isn't just injury that can get you. It's scheduled days off and get some suspended games, too.
Yeah, just for reference, last season DeAndre Jordan was the active leader, played over 300 straight games as a player. He was the leader in the league, but he wasn't even a third of the way to Green's historic mark of consecutive games.
The Warriors making a switch here. Clark's checked in. He's perfect from the line this time.
And really last season it was supposed to be a battle between the Warriors and Clippers for that Pacific title. But the Warriors just ran away with it and won the division by 11 games.
Jacks up a three. That's good.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Greg, no question about it. They found a nice rhythm from deep. Los
Angeles calls timeout. For the Warriors, it was the third time they've ever won the division, last time coming in 1976. Looks like it's been a while.
It's been a long time, but they did it in style. 13-3 record against the rest of the division. That would be the best in-division winning percentage for any team in the NBA.
And here's Brown outside. That's good. The Warriors have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. Livingston dishes to Clark. And it's good, assisting on the play with Livingston.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
The Warriors have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. From the line, no good. So Los Angeles will take it the other way.
Yeah, the NBA Development League now celebrating its 15th anniversary and a lot of change over that time. None of the original 8 teams still playing in their original locations. Still, it's only growing. And I think we'll see it grow to 30 teams before long.
Here's Wirtz. Pass to World Peace. Pass up top. From the top of the key, he buries it. Greg, you're talking about the D-League. Not really a moneymaker yet, but it's really benefited, Clark, the NBA in so many ways.
Clearly has, Kevin, a place to train new players, officials, and executives or management, a way to test out possible rule changes. I think building revenue is the focus, though, and the players make a small salary, but the NBA Developmental League is helping the NBA be better.
Here is Livingston. He's guarded by Bass.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
Looked to me like just a frustration foul. It really kind of sums up the game they're having in general.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Robert Sacre, he's checked in for Bass. And Kobe is subbed in for Lou Williams. And Golden State also making a change. Azili's checked in. Shot clock at 6. Livingston, no luck. Los Angeles has gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. And Brown throws it down.
Kevin, I tell you what, when he gets to the rim like that, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah, he can get up a few notches higher, there's no doubt.
And that's how the game is played on the inside. You can play over the top. You've got a great advantage.
Here's Clark. Pass to McAdoo. Lets it go. But they'll get another chance. Azili kicks to Rush. Lays it up and banks it in.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
Here's Brown. That misses off the backboard.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range. And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Warriors.
But Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out, Clark, this kind of punishment to
Well,
him.
you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on, and clearly were dominant in every area.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins. Brandon Bass is checked in for Los Angeles. Young comes in for Brown. Here's Barbosa. Sacre with the block. Here's Huertas, guarded by Spates. A beautiful reverse layup.
Now there's something for the top 10 highlight reel right there. A layup can be just as sweet and as pretty as a dunk sometimes.
Livingston passes to Spates. Spates with a screen on Young. And here is Barbosa. Off target with the open look.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
And Kobe Bryant gets the whistle that time. And that'll be his third foul so far. There's 48 seconds left to play here in the fourth. To the inside, here's Azili, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Livingston.
And really no better feeling than to go on the road and play this well and get the win.
Yeah, it's always a good win when you play the kind of game they have played tonight. I mean, especially, though, when you get it done on the road. That's a special, special feeling there.
In the corner, Rush with it. Second chance shot. He takes it up and lays it in. Out of bounds, Golden State takes possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
.20 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here is Livingston. Spates kicks to Rush, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Spates.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Here's Sacre. Offline from the top of the key. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Yes, Kevin, here with Andre Iguodala. And what's the key for you guys to have games like you did tonight as you look to the upcoming games?
The key is just not let
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you. And now we get a chance to check out our Jordan player of the game.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunity. He took advantage.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.